mounds in the background.
Those power lines.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I went over and shot the river for Evie for the movie they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't really see it.
Yeah, from that angle, from what they filmed me, this is all. As soon as this gets knocked down, UJ starts doing this to the park center. As the park boundary.
Thank you. The last time I came on.
Well, good morning, everyone. We have a very large crowd here today, and we're here to celebrate a great accomplishment for our community. Welcome once again, and it is a great day to be in Macon-Bibb County. It's a beautiful day to be here in the area we're here today, and you'll hear a little bit more about that in just a moment. Let me first of all thank all of our commissioners for being here today. We have a great group that were able to make it this morning. I see Ms. Elaine Lucas, it's just her district, and she's going to be speaking in just a moment, but I wanted to recognize her. We have Commissioner Valerie Wynn, Commissioner Ramey Wilder, Commissioner Paul Bronson, Commissioner Bill Howell, and I think that's all of them. Is that correct? Seth. I'm sorry. Mayor Pro Tem Seth Clark. I didn't recognize him back there with the long hair. So it's a great day, and we're very excited to continue our blight fight. This is something that we've been talking about for quite a while. We're hitting a historic number today. Today, our public works crew will remove both blighted houses, which will bring us to, drum roll please, 500 blight buildings down in just 2 years. That's right. This is just more than just clearing these eyesores, these dangerous, dilapidated structures, but this is about restoring neighborhoods and giving our community hope for a better place to work and to play. There are two projects this demolition coincides with. Number one, the Mill Hill rejuvenation, and number two, the expansion of the Old Muggy Mounds National Historic Park. To tell us more about this Mill Hill project, help me welcome Director of Planning and Public Spaces and Executive Director of the Urban Development Authority, Mr. Alex Morrison.
Thank you, Mayor Miller, and thank you everybody for coming out. It really is an exciting day to expand on projects that are anywhere from 100 to 10 years in the making right here in East Macon. All of this work, of course, couldn't be done without the volunteers who truly make it happen. On the UDA board, have several members here, Chair Kay Gerhart, Vice Chair Jan Beelan, and new member Lisa Berrien. Thank you for coming out. And our past two board chairs have had a lot to do with this project as well. A special recognition for Mr. Bob Lewis and Mr. Chris Sheridan, without whom this project wouldn't happen. But we're here talking about opportunities for regrowth, and one of the greatest things about Macon-Bibb County is that a through line for all of our history has been our ability to galvanize and produce great artists. And in 2013, the former county commission chairman Sam Hart gave the UDA a challenge to do something on the east side, and we were a little bewildered at what to do. But now, 10 years later, we have rejuvenated several houses that are just 1 block away from us here in the Mill Hill Arts Village. Properties that were all tax assessed at under $10,000 in 2013 have all been sold to owner occupants, adding $1.1 million to the Macon-Bibb County tax base. And one of those residents is here with us today. Roy, Scott, thank you for coming out and being a stalwart artist for our community.
Thank you for getting us done.
And the houses here behind us today that we're demolishing were also acquired by the Urban Development Authority, but not just as part of the Mill Hill effort, but as the bigger picture of what's going on in East Macon and the cultures that preceded us as Macon for thousands of years. And one of our biggest partners in the Mill Hill effort and all of the economic development efforts of Macon-Bibb County has been the Old Muggy National Park and Preserve Initiative, And I'm excited that I get to introduce our next speaker, who, of course, is doing double duty, as the mayor pointed out, the Executive Director of OMPPI, Mr. Seth Clark.
Guys, welcome. This is an incredibly exciting moment. Not just, like Alex said, I'm definitely doing double duty. So as y'all's Mayor Pro Tem, 502 years is a big deal. And this would not be possible without everybody out here in code enforcement. JT, what you've done with that department, I don't know where you're at, but I know you're here. There you are, right in front of me. What you've done with this department to make sure that we are able to bring down these buildings that have been an eyesore and a draw on the soul of these neighborhoods for so long is just incredible. And to your staff, thank y'all. He can't do it without y'all. It's really these properties really do, like I said, draw on the soul of these neighborhoods. And so today is not just an investment in the future of the Ocmulgee Mounds National Historical Park, but it's an investment in this neighborhood that has felt forgotten for so long. And we are not, because of JT's work and because of the leadership of the mayor and because of longtime leadership from Commissioner Lucas, we are, this neighborhood, I hope, feels like they are no longer forgotten. I also hope that they understand that they are part of a landscape, like Alex said, where preservation isn't just about the soul of these neighborhoods and the structures around them, but it's where they sit. The preservation in this community doesn't just mean stabilizing neighborhoods and making sure that the people who stayed in these neighborhoods through thick and thin are taken care of. It also means taking care of 17,000 years of history, the majority of which came well before the people, my grandparents, your grandparents got here. And today, these two properties, thanks to the stewardship of the Urban Development Authority, once these houses come down, the long and arduous process of donating them to the these two tracts, the Ocmulgee Mounds National Historical Park, will begin. And that comes from a vision. Yeah, absolutely. That comes from a long-time vision. Like Alex said, this is a 100-year project. There were people in this community 100 years ago who saw the value of those mounds that are behind us or next to us and said they need to be taken care of and they need to be preserved. And then as those 100 years went over, we realized that we needed to bring in the Muskogee Creek Nation as partners. And we needed to understand who we were so we can understand where we're going. And in that process, a lot of people at the Urban Development Authority, Alex namely, was able to say that we can expand, we can be the stewards of taking these properties that need to be expanded in these important sites, take care of them, and deed them over. And that's one of the reasons why we're here today. Because we're at a precipice of that long-term vision. And without that long-term vision, we wouldn't be at the precipice of creating America's 64th National Park and Preserve, which was slated to happen this year. And Congress will not do that unless they see progress from the gateway communities in the United States of America that are stewards of that park. And this, Alex, is what they're looking for. So that's what this means for this community. It is a great day for East Macon. It's a great day for the long arc of stewardship of our prehistoric and historic sites here. And it is a great day in the long march that we've had to creating this National Park and Preserve. The small acreage, don't let it fool you. This takes a lot of work. And we have a lot more work to do, but it's happening. And it's happening because a lot of the people that I mentioned today. So thank you. Thank you, thank you. And on that note, it's a great segue to introduce the person who has shepherded this since 1981 or 1983, Commissioner? Just a couple years ago. 83. Commissioner Lucas is one of the longest serving public servants that we have in Middle Georgia, not just Macon. I can personally say that I've learned from her institutional knowledge in the 2 years that I've been elected, and watching her advocate for folks who need a voice has been incredibly impressive. And her advocacy for these neighborhoods and for this neighborhood in particular is foundational. And we're on her shoulders today as we celebrate the 500th blight removal and the revitalization of Mill Hill and the expansion of the Ocmulgee Mounds National Historical Park. We are on your shoulders, Commissioner, and thank you. So with that, I'd like y'all to give it up for Commissioner Lucas.
Good morning. Y'all, it is just such an honor to be here today. And it's so great to see a milestone. And so I'd like all of my fellow commissioners to come up because we want to thank somebody for the initiative. Yeah. The folks that you see here, Dr. Fickling, you come join me too, because you served on the city council for a long time when we tried to get some stuff done. I just want to let you know that over all of these years, it has been a real test of your patience. When you support a project year in and year out, you appropriate the money year in and year out, and then it doesn't seem like you're making the progress. You really don't see it. Mayor, if you'll step up here. Now, until this present time, we were very frustrated at the slow pace of taking care of things like this. Under your administration, you've not only done the talking, but you've done the walking as well. And you have put monies into projects like this to get it done. And that's what we as commissioners, have wanted for years and years. So it just really makes me sentimental to be here, and this is our 500th tear down. It is just a tremendous day for all of us. As commissioners, we want to thank you for putting that energy into it, not only with something like this, but pedestrian safety, as many of you know. Pedestrian safety was formed years ago. We've made progress, but until 100,000 plus 500,000 were put into actually getting the stuff done, we didn't see the progress that we needed to see. So as your fellow commissioners, and you are a commissioner too, sometimes he forgets that he's with, but your fellow commissioners support what you've been able to do, and we thank you for allowing us all to be a part of making progress in Macon-Bibb County. We are just so honored to be here, and I am so honored that before I leave this commission, we will have seen appreciable progress in making Macon what we knew it could always be. So thank you so much. It's our honor to serve you, and we are just so pleased to be here today. Thank you all for all the parts that you play in making this kind of thing happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Macon-Bibb. Yeah. Well, thank you, Commissioner Lucas. I certainly was not expecting that, but we certainly appreciate it. It's still a great day to be in Macon-Bibb County, and I think we have a lot of wonderful partners here today. Just to think about the year before this particular team arrived on the set, there was only 9 houses that came down. 600 was in file boxes, many file boxes, with orders that had expired because people thought they did their job, but nobody finished the drill. Today, we're finishing that drill by taking down 500 in less than 2 years of really working. And we're doing it more efficiently. And one of the reasons we're doing that more efficiently is because we have great partners like Terracon, and we appreciate you guys being here today. They have made this progress, yes, go, please. They made this process from an environmental standpoint top-notch. From a financial standpoint, saving our county hundreds and thousands of dollars in a very fluid process where we have a lot of people working hard for a common goal. And it takes teamwork to make the dream work, Ms. Lucas, and we certainly have been working well together as a commission, and I look forward to that. I do not ever forget that I'm a commissioner because I'm constantly reminded from my fellow commissioners. But we have a great team. We're working hard together. We're not only going to remove these dangerous structures. If you remember just a few months ago, we established unanimously in our commission a affordable housing fund. And I think you'll hear some great things to come on that, but we don't want to just tear things down. This is about building our community up, something that we intend to do. And we're going to work hard to do that because we know that people need affordable housing. Affordable housing means a lot of things to a lot of people, but what it means to us is we have people that have a roof over their head, have great opportunities to thrive, grows our community. You know, in the last 2 years, we've seen growth that we haven't seen. Early indications indicate the last 2 years alone, we have seen more growth in Macon-Bibb County than we did the previous 10 years during the census. Don't take my word for it. Let's wait till the census information comes out and you'll see for yourself. And it doesn't happen in a bubble. It happens because every segment of Macon-Bibb County is getting in line, holding hands, walking shoulder to shoulder, and working together. That's what it takes to get jobs like this done. Today, we're here in what we hope to be the old Muggy Mouse National Historic Park. We continue to work well with our friends in Washington, D.C. We know they're going to get this job done this year. We're going to encourage them, but because of great people like you, because of the great people sitting at home today advocating for our beloved community, we know this has to be done this year. So now we're sitting here today on what someone calls DeWitt Street, which is fitting because we're taking down number 499 and number 500 today. So all together, let's do it!
Have to bring the hard hat.
I saw it last night.
Hey,